Welcome to the Everybody Hates Shoe podcast with your host, Jay Schuler and my Iraq. This is episode 302, Social Media as the Devil. On today's episode, we discuss social media and its effects it has on all of us. Take the dive. Welcome back to the Everybody Hates Shoe podcast. I am your host, Jay Schuler, and this is...
my Iraq, also known as Miranda.
And we are here with episode 302, Social Media is the Devil.
Big devil. Big devil.
I'm back now. Sorry, I got excited. I didn't get excited about the devil.
No.
Just that social media is the devil.
Just the topic for sure.
And this is a topic that you came up with.
Yes.
Not on a whim, but hold on, am I back? There we go. Okay. This is a topic that you came up with. Not on a whim, but like, weren't we in the middle of the podcast?
Yeah, the first episode, and we just was having a topic, and it was just like, we might as well do the second episode on this, because social media is just the devil.
I think it's interesting. I think it has its good qualities as well as its bad qualities. I wasn't always a fan of social media. It grew on me once I realized the business aspect of it, and communication. But yeah, I guess we get right into it. And you came up with the questions for this, so I'm really excited about this.
Man, put me on spot.
Oh well, I mean, we collaborate. This is a collaboration, but she wanted to do social media as the devil, so she came up with the questions. I thought I was gonna contribute, but she came up with them, and I thought these were great, so I didn't add anything.
I added on one at the last minute. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did see. I don't know which one it is.
I think I put it as the second one.
Yes. I see. I'm not gonna say
that's a big one.
What it is
I can't wait to get into that one.
Let's get to the first one. Social media has a major influence on people's lives. I think that's accurate.
It really does. Actually, I got into a debate today. Because me and my friends were talking, and we were talking about how Drake just polished his fingernails pink with the hearts. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but I saw, I don't know if it was a reliable site, but they were saying that he did it for like Pride Month. He had like a rainbow watch, and
he did it before?
I did not see it. This was an article. This is another thing about social media.
Yeah.
But this, I think this, no, I don't know if it was actually a website or if it was social media, but they were saying that he did it. It was in honor of Pride. Like he had polished his nails, got them pink, and had a rainbow rollie on or something.
Wow, I didn't see that, but I did see he polished his fingernails. They were pink with the hearts, and I was just saying to someone, I was like, watch the guys. They're going to start polishing their fingernails. And the debate was, one of my friends was like, well, guys have already been polishing their fingernails. I said, yes, but they don't have as much of his influence as Drake. I personally feel like, my opinion, I feel like Drake is the Jada for guys. Like how the girls be following Jada, and Jada's like the trendsetter for the girls.
I don't know who Jada is.
Jada? Waita?
No idea.
Little Baby's baby mom? Now I feel like I'm too into social media.
Little Baby's, no, because I'm thinking about Lil Durk. I have no idea who Jada is. I'm sorry. I mean that's the thing. You might be way more into social media. I only post, and I only use social media.
Bad.
I only use social media for money. That's the thing, is that my boy told me about Instagram. This was back in like 2011. We were doing the music heavy, and he goes, "Yo, Shu," because they call me by my last name, so they shorten Schuler down to Shu. "Yo, Shu, get this new app." I got the app. He's like, all you do is post pictures on it, and for verbatim, I said, "Fuck out of here. That's stupid. We're getting to the money."
That a clip that you don't know who Jada is. That is a clip.
It'll be a clip.
Like, so honestly, you don't know who Jada is.
I don't be on social media like that. If it doesn't,
oh my God.
Well, let's just go back to this, and then we'll go back into like my views about social media. I have seen men painting their nails for a minute. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I think it's cool if you express yourself. Have I ever thought about getting my nails painted? No, I keep my nails. I think my nails are well manicured, but sometimes when I see them, I think they look dope. But I really do feel like yeah, you're definitely right. I feel like a lot more guys will be comfortable with getting it because Drake got it. But that's just that's influence. That's
Mhm.
wanting to be accepted by the crowd. That's all social media is. And don't get me wrong, Drake is Drake. So Drake is if Drake is crying tears or if he's upset, he's crying those tears in that big ass estate he has over in Canada.
Right.
So he can do whatever the hell he wants. But he at the end of the day seems like he knows who he is. So do you know who you are? That you're
Yeah,
following a
that's why I
grown ass
feel like,
man to
yeah, I
get your
feel like
nails.
a lot of people only do things because they see other people do it because of social media.
Well, it's a big look because someone like Drake, who does have that kind of influence, especially like in like urban culture, it's like, oh, well, if Drake got it now, I can get it. No one won't say anything because if you do anything with your nails, it has to be that you are feminine in some kind of way. And Snoop Dogg be on Instagram getting his nails done. He's been getting his nails done for the longest. My only issue is with people like I fuck with Maul and do you know the Joe Budden podcast? The old people from
Well, I've never seen Joe
Rory and
Budden.
Maul.
I never seen his
See, so I know Rory and Maul. You don't know Jada. See, so Rory and Maul. The thing about Rory and Maul is that like Maul has his nails painted sometimes, but he's also from New York, and y'all can kill me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he still says no homo. And I'm not saying that getting your nails done is like a feminine thing, but it's like I can't. If you are talking about being so macho, but you're sitting down get your nails done, which is more in our culture is more of
a
a
lady's
feminine
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing. If you talk all of that and then you're getting your nails done, then I feel weird. But Drake has never been on no like he. Oh, I got to be such a manly man. If anything, he seems to be really in touch with his feelings. But when you put social
True.
media into it, I feel like yeah, a lot of dudes who don't have that confidence to do it themselves.
I feel like it's a difference though. I do feel like it's nothing wrong with a man getting a manicure and getting a clear paint on it. Or I mean, I wouldn't date nobody who puts color on their nails. But if they decide to put color, like I've seen like even like back then when they did rock and roll or whatever,
Yep.
they had the black nails or whatever. But pink
Well,
with hearts,
that's definitely a statement,
it
and
is a statement. But my whole thing was I feel like he's gonna definitely make it more comfortable for men to do it because I just feel like nowadays I feel like not only does social media has an influence, but I feel like people go to social media for validation.
but see, this is the other thing about social media that I hate. We're talking about this because it's Drake. Do you think that now Drake is someone that, even if I think his music isn't as good as it used to be, even though I heard some new shit and I was like, all right, he's snapping again. I'm really hard on Drake because I really am deep down a Drake fan. But
Mm-hmm.
my thing about Drake is a very calculated individual. If you think about who Drake is, I don't think Drake just puts pink nail polish on and hearts just
Just
just to do
because.
it and then post it. Obviously, he wants us to talk. I wherever his views go, he's already told us he's for the gay community. He
Mm-hmm.
has lines from when he first came out about the lesbians, the good lesbian line. You know what I'm talking about. Someone will look it up. I don't remember it right now.
Which one
Um,
off the album?
I'm talking about like this is all Drake. Like
Oh,
thank you later. Like something where he always would make jokes about like bring your friend and her friend. Oh, I'm a
okay.
lesbian. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, so he like lesbians. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying he's a supporter. And
Yeah.
and 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 I told you how the headline I came across for me. It said that he was representing the end of Pride Month. So I don't know what it was. I don't follow that closely, but we're talking about it, and that's one of my issues with social media is that a lot of people put up personas, and then like
Mm-hmm.
you said, these people see it, so they're influenced, and they're like, oh well, now I feel comfortable to be me. But a lot of these times that could be a business calculated move.
It
it's
could.
a it's it's a persona that people put on. And what I don't like about social media is that people put on personas just to better themselves. Like you'll have people blacker than you and me, and I'll get into that in another episode about black Trump supporters because I got an issue with y'all. I do. But you'll see people that will get on and they will pretend to be black Trump supporters because they know it gets people like me upset
Going.
and going. But I don't be on social media, so I'll be like, that's stupid. Let me see if this person even believes what they're saying. You can see that their profile is wiped, and this is just a persona that they're putting on because they know they'll get more followers, more
So,
views.
how do you feel about people like that? Because I feel like that is so weird. That's a new thing on social media too. Now that I see, like with different, won't even say celebrities, but just on social media in general, and people that have a major influence, they have the people that make are. I don't even know how to explain it. People that will DM them or comment the most hateful things just to get their attention and then be like, oh my God, I just loved you and I just have to say that. That shit is weird. Can we please stop doing that? Why the fuck are you saying something so hurtful and rude to get someone's attention just to say, I didn't mean that. I was just trying to get your attention? Like, that's
Because
weird.
it's calculated. You know, it's all a psychological thing. It's like you see, sometimes I wear the chain, sometimes I don't. In people's minds, you can just pocket watch me and know that this chain can't really cost that much compared to the car that I'm driving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but if you present yourself a certain way, put it like this: I know people that will post on the internet with a car that's rented, and a
That's
house
insane.
that's an Airbnb,
That's
and they
sad.
act like it's theirs. I know
That
people
is
that
crazy.
post going to the club and they just know the DJ. They're not paying for a booth, they're not paying for any money, but they go out every weekend just to post. And they live with their moms. I'm no hater. You get it how you got to get it, but don't be out here perpetrating because
Perpetrating.
the thing is that
I
at
feel
the
like we need to make a flyer. That's the second time that word that came up on the
but the
podcast.
thing about it is, think about this. Um I always would say, I had a line in a song I did a long time ago that like um what was it? Something about personas, and I hate to be you god damn it, I can't think of it right now. But it's about people perpetrating, and then when you perpetrate, at the end of the day, you're gonna get found out. And then if no, at least if niggas know you, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse too much on here, but
Sorry.
but if people know you, I know you. I know that's not
That's
really how
very
you live in
true.
real life. So to me, I don't even know how you could walk around just not being yourself and putting on a persona.
I feel like that's scary.
But see, even as an artist, someone who acts and does music, it's hard for me to say my persona in music is not me, or the actor me is not me. It's all me. It's different variations of me. Just like we were talking about in the other episode about people seeing you and thinking that you're one dimensional. Like, no, some days you wake up, you're in a mood, you're angry. You're never the same person. You shouldn't hope to be the same person, I don't think.
All the time.
So, but when you start to mess around with personas like that, I think I don't know. I don't think it's healthy, and I think in social media, I was watching a news segment with the people I forget the name of it. Starts with an M, but they eat a bunch of food. Like they just be fucking eating a bunch of food in the camera like this, like fucking 100.
Mukbang?
Yeah,
Oh my
mukbang.
God. I just found out what that was like 2 days ago, and I just feel like that's a crazy word. Mukbang?
Mukbang. First of all, that's why I didn't remember it. It's a crazy word,
Mukbang?
but it's a thing where you just eat as much food as you can or some shit. Yo,
It's like gangbang, but food.
that makes
That's
sense.
weird.
But
Mukbang.
But the lady that they were doing this the
I hope we
segment
got the
on,
right word.
I think that was the right word. They were doing the segment on this lady, and they even brought it up. They were like, "Well, we've seen some of your content is offensive, like making fun of different races or talking about representing or supporting certain politicians." And she said it straight up. She said, "Well, I have to give views." And then you look at her house that she's sitting in, and sometimes they rent houses out for these interviews, but it looked like it was really her house. So that's the reason why I said
How did her house look? I'm sorry. I was
Oh.
already making a judgy face.
Oh no, it looked really nice. But,
Oh,
but that's my
okay.
whole point about social media. If you find your lane, and she's getting her money off YouTube, I know people that was making like $4,000 a month off YouTube. Now that's just one stream of revenue. If you can find an audience and the ads, you get the payments off the ads. If you want to go the extra route and ask people for money via Cash App, that's something else. But generating money from ads on YouTube. You can make a good bit of money. So what people start doing, and I call it selling your soul, is you start going, of course, I can be a Trump supporter.
Oh my
I,
God.
I talk about this all the time.
That's so scary.
Yeah, yeah.
For some money, you're going to go against the grain.
Miranda, you and I could literally, you being from the South, me being from the North, me and you could all of a sudden be like, we're Trump supporters, and I bet we can get into the Republican Party here. You think I'm joking? They would love us. Two black.
Oh my God, that's
young
crazy.
somethings. They'd
Do
be
y'all
like,
not know who my daddy is? My daddy gonna disown me.
they'll be like, come on over. We be front. You think I'm playing? But this is how people act on social media. There was a woman from here that I saw her play. She kept talking about she's a Trump supporter. Then she started selling a book, and then she was trying to run for Senate. I did everything. That's one time that I was trying to get people rallied up, like, to not vote for this person. She didn't make it anything, but that's the play. People will sell their soul. That's the same. People think selling your soul is so general, like literal.
Worship the devil.
Yeah, like, there's and you're literally selling your soul. No. If I said, Miranda, this Republican Party, it sounds like they're gonna give me a bunch of money, I'm gonna go fuck with them. That's me selling my soul.
So you a sellout, Uncle Tom.
Yeah, that's me. That's
what they.
That's
saying.
Me going like, I talk like this to you when we're doing this, and then I get on social media and I'd be like, yeah, this for my homies. We just spun the block. We gonna spin it again, cause that's what we doing out here. It's a persona. Scary. But that's my whole thing.
Okay, so that makes me think. Since we're talking about social media and its influence, and we're getting into the persona. Oh, you probably don't know who this person is, but DDG. You ever heard of him before?
I know DDG.
Right? Okay. So do you believe that he has a voice for social media than his regular voice? Do you really believe that? Because it trended one time, and he's like, he talks a certain way for his podcast and social media, but his voice is really, like, so freaking deep.
Well, DDG is an artist as well. It's my understanding. Okay, so we're talking about the same DDG. So I don't know this guy. I'm too familiar with his music, so I don't know the fluctuations in his voice. But even with your voice, you have range. Like, if you ever took musical lessons or whatever, there's octaves. Like, I'm a tenor. For males, it's like tenor, baritone, and bass or something. I think it's been a while. But bass is going to be the lower register. My voice is a little more high pitched. I sit at a tenor, but I can go a little bit lower if I really need to, or if I'm doing like music. And that's the thing with music, especially if you're rapping, there's going to be a little bit of aggression in your voice, depending on the kind of song you're doing, a little bit more of a growl. If you're speaking a little softly, it might be a little soft. They talk about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson used to talk like this all the time. I'm Michael. Hey, Tito. And then, but they said behind closed doors, he'd be like, Tito, go get the door. That he would conserve his voice like that, but also it's a persona.
That's crazy.
But so people can do things with their voices, but also,
how do you talk? Like, how do you remember? I think my thing is, how do you remember to talk like that through like a whole like segment of videos?
It's the same thing how people lie. I can't do it because it's too much for me to play around with y'all, bro. Like, especially,
that's scary.
I just feel like, especially depending on your upbringing, you fight so hard to be yourself, especially as an artist trying to find your artistic voice, or even choosing to do a podcast and saying, what's going to be my voice? Before doing this with you, I was doing like hip hop and all headlines and stuff. I hated it. I didn't like doing that. This is more of my style, more like really talking about life things. You know what I mean? Like, so it just depends on the person, really. But I know for me, I couldn't keep living all of these different. I had people tell me all the time, well, be Rashad, or that's my middle name, or Jerome, and I remember like being Molly and the Pineapples is that. I'm like, those go hand in hand.
Those are all the same.
Yeah, obviously, the when you're writing, sometimes a lot of it's personal, but you might fictionalize some things. But I can't tell you that I'm not being authentically myself, and that's not me, and that's the issue. I can't. That's probably why it's taking me so long to go to places that I want to go, because I will not bend. I'm not bending for these people.
I feel like that's really true. Like, I just feel like it's okay to change in a good way, but I just feel like when it comes to social media, like, I feel like I've never been somebody that's been so consumed with social media, like, cause I don't really like people knowing too much about me. I don't like nobody thinking they know me. So it's like with social media, it's a give and take thing. So I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do hate the influence it has. Like, I hate the influence it has on people. I hate that people feel like to keep their business going or to just stay relevant, you have to stay active on social media. And going back to episode one, I just feel like that attracts too much different energies, even through the apps.
It depends on how you're utilizing it. So I told you that story back in 2011. I was like, I'm off social media. A lot of the things that I was doing, a lot of my music from the 2010s are not even, I just put them on because I was so not concerned with social media. I was more concerned with real life, doing shows, meeting people, networking in real
Right.
life. That's what I'm used to. So when social media came, I just didn't ride the wave. But now I see that it is business. It can be business if you want it to be. Just like you just said, people think that they have to be on social media to stay relevant. It depends on how you're on social media staying relevant. This podcast is how I'd like to be on social media because I don't want to do anything else on social media. I am now trying to figure out how, if I release a song, how to be personal and invite people into my world with boundaries like you're talking about. So why not just talk about the song, Jerome? And that's like, it's just how you look at it. But if you want, it depends on the person, and that's the whole thing we're talking about. The first episode, am I the problem in looking within and being comfortable with yourself? So I have nothing against people who do OnlyFans content. Get your money, but I can tell the people that do it, and you have to be business minded to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the women and the men that do it that they have a business strategy with how they do it. You can tell when people are doing it, and it really is just like, all right, I look good, and people will buy content, so I'm going to do it. But then I also have this that I'm trying to sell, whether it's clothing or whatever other thing you have. You're using it to maneuver into something else,
Right.
or to just buy a house and then you out.
Ooh,
but
excuse me.
but I think that people look at social media and they're influenced by the other people that they see doing things, and they think I have to do it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what it is about social media. To me, I just feel like sometimes it's just so, like you said, if you use it for business, it's good, but 85% of the people aren't
I felt that way, and
until you tapped in.
well, no, I had to look. I had to look at what was in my feed. We
Mm.
control that.
How? So how do I change my feed? Because
So,
I feel like my feed be a bunch of
so
BS.
check this.
It be making me mad, y'all. Like, I don't even be on, like, Twitter. You seen the new foolishness with Twitter? Elon Musk with your musty ass. I hope that's still trending. He changed Twitter. Now we have to pay for it. And we can only, like, tweet, or there's a limit to tweets or something like that. Like, I kind of fell back from Twitter after a while recently. I hate to say that, but I have. But yeah, like, if we aren't verified, I think you like get to either tweet up to 600, or
No,
you only get to see up to 600 tweets or something. And you have to like pay monthly to go over that if you're not verified. Like, it's limits to it now.
well,
Well, are he's trying
I,
to amplify
I
that?
want to get into
Amplify
Elon
it.
Musk and Twitter in a second. But I wanted to answer what you with the oh,
The feed.
the feed.
Sorry, I be jumping
So
all over
no,
the
no,
place.
it's okay. So the feed, and I just want to apologize to some people that like hit me up on my birthday and then I wasn't following you. This is the reason why I wasn't following you. I didn't realize it. So so wearing so many hats, sometimes I have to go into my my accounts and delete the fake followers and stuff like that. Now in doing that, sometimes no, not sometimes, but when I start to really think about social media, I realized I was following a bunch of bullshit accounts that didn't do anything for my energy, that was negative, like, and I'm talking about like World Star Hip Hop, all that shit. Even I used to follow all those fucking
The shade
Shade
room.
Room. Yeah, I couldn't remember
I
it in the
still be
name.
following them.
No, I had to stop
Hell
all that.
yeah.
So then I was like even deleting people, and that's how I deleted some of my friends, like inactive profiles. I didn't. Some people get hacked, and so anyways, but that changed my whole thing because I changed that and I put more positive things, more people, more political things, like a lot of James Baldwin poetry, things that reflect what I want to see and make me feel good about myself.
Right.
I have some news, like I gotta follow ATL Scoop, but another thing about ATL Scoop is that they will let you know what's going on, but it's always so negative. ATL is not all that negative. I know I was getting a little flack. People were upset from the other pod, and one person left a comment,
Oh,
and I
what
did.
type of negativity
Yeah,
did
it was
you
only one
see?
I didn't even respond to it because I wanted to respond to it on this because they were like, "Well, weirdos move here" or something like that, and the like the people who grow here are fine. It's the weirdos who fly in or something
Oh,
like
I
that.
did see that
It
comment.
was something like
I
that.
do see a lot of people that's from Atlanta be like, "Oh, Atlanta changed because all the people that came
All I want to say
here."
is, y'all can say it's because of the people who came here, but are you trying to tell me that church travel is that limited? And I'm not even trying to shit on anybody talking about being out the country. I'm just talking about visiting neighboring states. Just go to Chattanooga. Don't go to Chattanooga. Go to anywhere, and you can see a difference. Don't be upset. People talk so much crap about Jersey City all the time. Do you see me going? That's not true. No, some of it is true, but not. It's not the whole truth. Don't be upset because your city is not the best that it could be. Own it, take accountability, and figure out how we can fix it. But trust me, it's not a whole bunch of freaking implants. It's impossible because a lot of people I'm talking about, their dialect is definitely from here.
I just feel like, let's get back on topic. I think I was about to
Well,
drift
no,
off because I was about to dive into that.
no.
But
I
we
just
gonna
want to,
talk
but
about
we're
that's
back.
gonna be a
We're
whole
back.
segment.
We're back to Twitter and Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk,
What is his motive? Like, why did he even buy Twitter?
Elon Musk,
What is his motive?
and that's the only thing.
That's what we need to ask.
We
What is his motive?
we could leave it there. That's what I want y'all to
What is
wonder. What
Elon
is
Musk's
Elon Musk's
motive?
motive?
Why
Because
would he buy Twitter?
well, you already know what it is. Elon Musk is just like Kanye West. These guys have all of this money, and at the end of the day, they're big babies. They're big crybabies. I don't know if Elon Musk was a mama's boy. I know he's on a spectrum.
His
He,
bad body shapes ass.
but my thing is this is that he I don't like people who use their influence the way Elon Musk does. He knew he can get Twitter. He bought it even though they said it was against his finances. Like he was pulling money out of stocks of Tesla to support his buy of Twitter because it was overvalued when he bought it. Yeah, it was a bad deal, and that's why he's charging people $10 for verification.
You hear that?
You don't have fact checks, so you can put what they do is put
They
what they
do
do.
have a little bit of fact
They
check
they
now.
do the fact check thing, but
Just
they'll
a
tell
tad
you
bit.
if it's false or whatever. But it's freedom of speech. He was letting certain people get back on. He let when Kanye West was doing all the anti-Semitic remarks, he let him back on until he violated. And I'm all for free speech, but I just don't know what Elon Musk's motive is. He had
It's
an
a
issue with
motive for
Biden
sure.
and the Biden administration when they didn't do they didn't give him tax write-offs with his vehicles specifically. So that's when he started saying that he was for DeSantis, and DeSantis announced his candidacy on Twitter, which was a debacle. And I'm talking about DeSantis. I know you don't really do politics, but
Yeah, I
DeSantis
don't know anything.
DeSantis is from Florida, and he's the same guy that doesn't believe in
Oh,
critical race theory. He wants to get rid of the IRS and all of this other stuff. And y'all keep not paying attention to politics.
DeSantos, is that
DeSantis,
DeSantis, is that the governor?
the governor,
Is that the guy that don't want colored people there?
pretty
No?
much. And
Okay.
they always used to say, well, he did such a great job with COVID. Remember, the governors of these places and all this stuff, yeah, they had some say in it, but at the end of the day with COVID, that was all the citizens who had to do their job and do their due diligence and not wear a mask or not. And when I went to Florida, everyone was wearing masks, which I was surprised because the way they were talking about Florida, you would think that they were really anti-mask.
You
But
know what? And now that we're talking about this conversation with social media, I feel like this does tie into one of the topics for later on in the podcast, but how to have a positive effect. I feel like with social media, we do need to use it for the good because politics is something that is major. That I feel like if we had more people to like break it down a little bit and help our community understand, or just anybody who doesn't have the knowledge understand, it will help us go so
they
far
don't want to
because
understand, Miranda.
they don't want us to understand,
No,
and
no, no, no,
they
no, 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 no. We don't want to
we don't want to
understand.
understand, or they don't want us to understand. Because I feel like they also shadow ban, or they don't give as much publicity to things that we should know. and they know how to erase it from our viewing so that we won't see it.
I will tell
to
you,
see the real truth. Like, I feel like you have to dig.
but that's the thing. What you said, you have to dig. We have to dig. I talked to somebody that was telling me, this was years ago, like a decade ago. He was telling me about all of these books that have all of this history in it. They go for thousands of dollars. And he was he was telling me about how it tells the history of the blacks in America and all that stuff. And the first thing I said to him was like,
Thousands?
15. He was telling me about a
Why
book.
does it cost so
So
much?
he was telling me because it's knowledge and niggas don't read. I'm sorry. So he tells me the first thing I say to him is, why would they not teach us that? He said it's not their responsibility to teach us, and it's not. And that's what Malcolm X was trying to talk. I can't fuck with y'all. I'm sorry. This gets me upset because I see so many black men so concerned with money. And this is the same reason why people were able to touch Malcolm X, why they were able to touch Fred Hampton, because it was us. It was people that looked like us that sold one another out. So when we talk about, oh, they shadow ban, they do shadow ban. But with all of this information in the palm of our hand, I don't have the patience for niggas. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have the patience. I'm going to have to bleep that out because they shadow ban. I did a whole thing about the Confederacy and how I'm not going to go into it at all. But if you believe that the Confederates lost, you really look at history and think about all of those monuments that are up. That got shadow banned. They said that was false information. That's the thing that Ron DeSantis wants to do in Florida. They want to act like our history is not real. That's why I can't mess with a Kanye West. I can't mess with people who say the Holocaust is not real. Because if they say the Holocaust is not real, give them 20 years later, they're going to tell us that slavery is not real. Because they already telling us slavery not that bad.
That is so true.
So,
they're trying to erase the real history.
So with social media, that's my thing about social media. You let all these people have all this free speech and everyone's more concerned with conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Facts. Meek Mill, I don't know if that was a real tweet, but he was talking about that Titan submersible thing that imploded in the water, and he was saying like how it seemed like suspicious, as if he was about to do conspiracy talk. I'm like, if y'all want to talk about conspiracy, y'all keep talking about, oh, y'all Trump supporters. Y'all figure out why the Supreme Court was able to pass, deny us the student loans forgiveness. Y'all found out why they were able to. What's the other thing that they did? The major thing. They do so much crazy stuff now that I forget. It was a major thing, but why were they able to do that? Because Mitch McConnell had denied Obama his when he was supposed to be able to appoint another Supreme Court justice during his term. They said it wasn't fair because he was on his way out. They let Trump appoint, I think, 2, almost 3 Supreme Court justices in his 1 4-year term. Obama had 8 terms. So when y'all keep talking about, but they're going to spin it. And they're going to, and even with all this information on social media, they're going to say, Biden is the reason why student loan forgiveness didn't happen. Biden is the reason why, the affirmative action for school. They're going to say, oh, that was Biden's fault. No, who put the Supreme Court justices in place to be able to do that? It happened during his term, but it was the Trump administration. But people don't care.
So, dude, I've heard like they say that basically like everything that happens in each presidency has been written before. Like it's like basically like everything that is happening right now has already been written. Like it's really nothing that he can do.
Exactly.
To control it.
Because Trump, so one thing about Trump was they couldn't control him, but in certain ways he didn't know how the presidency worked. Mitch McConnell, if you look up Mitch McConnell, like he's in interviews proudly saying the reason why Obama didn't get a lot of things done was because of him. Obama had a stacked house that was against him, kind of like we're seeing now, but it's more of a split between the House and Senate and everything. Mm-hmm. So like, there's push and pull, but the Supreme Court is getting involved and they have more conservative leaning judges on the Supreme Court right now. With that said, I lost my train of thought, I'm not even gonna lie. With that said though, I forgot what I was saying, Miranda.
I was saying like everything is
written, yeah. So when he appointed a lot of judicial judges, like about 3. He's on his campaign now. Trump. He appointed about 300 judicial judges. What ends up happening when you hear about certain cases, or you really have to pay attention to the news. But all of those
something I don't watch, y'all.
All of those judges that he appointed, they've been helping him get out of some of the legal cases that he's been in. And then some of them, he appointed to the Supreme Court justice, so they're able to strike down even Roe versus Wade with the birth control. That's all from the Biden administration. So there's certain things where people. I've been following politics since I was like in eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
9/11 did it for me. I got really interested into how can someone do something like that and why. And we're gonna go back into social media and how this is all connected. But people will not get educated, and then they say voting doesn't matter. And it's crazy to me.
Okay, so that's what I was about to say, because with social media and just the media in general, I feel like they push so hard for presidency, which I mean, that is good to push for as well. But the people underneath the presidents, like the Senate and everything, are really what makes the change, if I'm correct, right? Like they're the one who
Yes.
contributes.
So when you don't go vote for your local politicians, and you're not
and you're not happy with what's going on around you, it's your fault. Correct. Right?
But to combat that, because people, especially in America, seem to not like to take accountability. We say
we need to put these words
literally
like how they do on the little kids show. Accountability.
But we don't take accountability, so we say, oh well, it wouldn't matter anyways. So you think that your vote doesn't matter. If your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't try so hard to make you not vote. If your vote didn't matter, Malcolm, Martin, Fred Hampton, you wouldn't have a bunch of these movements and a bunch of these people that died for you to vote. I don't know how you could walk around celebrating Juneteenth talking about you're proud to be an African American, or let them tell it, oh, they're indigenous now. I got people that tell me, well, oh, I'm not from Africa. You keep leaning towards everything else except for the truth that's sitting right in front of you. Don't
people
fight for
very
anything that's
ignorant.
Well, America's not our home? You tell me I'm not American. I dare you to tell me I'm not American.
We built this place.
This is ours.
Built it.
That's why they fight so much to keep it away from us. It's ours. Don't let them tell you differently. So we the only ones that don't have a home? Oh, well, America is our home. We were here before the natives. You could miss me with that. Oh, we're the original Jews. Miss me with that. What does that have to do with now? What are you doing now, King, Queen? I'm sorry, Miranda. You get me there.
I'm sorry, Jerome. It
gets me upset because we do have social media and you
don't use it for the right things. And going into the next question, I think about how people are so consumed with celebrity lives. I feel like that's the problem. We are so worried about everything but the right thing. Like, I just feel like personally, I don't care about nobody I don't know.
That's how I feel.
I honestly, like, I'm not going to say I don't care, but I really don't care as deeply as I see other people. Like, I don't care about these people. I know people with the same problems going on, and I promise y'all.
Can you give me an example? Like, who are you talking about?
I don't care.
Any celebrity?
Any celebrity. Like, okay, this is what got the media in a frenzy right now, and I hate the people. I'm sorry for the people who are involved and who do give a fuck. But about the girl you don't know, Jada, everyone is so worried about if she's pregnant or not. If Jada is pregnant, it do not pay my bills. It do not help me buy groceries. I don't give a fuck to figure out if this girl is pregnant. When she announces her pregnancy, congratulations, but I don't care. And I'm not talking shit about nobody, but even just realizing, like, okay, I had to ask one of my friends who the hell was Keith Lee. Because it's this guy, he came on, everyone kept reposting him and his wife. Shout out to Black Love. I love it and everything. I love our Black people. But when my friend explained to me that he was just like a foodie and he tries different foods in Vegas, and basically he became famous from TikTok because everybody was reposting him because he did food reviews. And they were like, oh, well, he goes to food places in the Black community, supposedly. I'm not sure. This is what I was told. He goes to basically Black-owned restaurants, and he goes there, he views it, and then supposedly they get a lot of business after he reviews it.
Okay.
That part is good, but I'm sorry to say that's not making no real change. Is it? Or am I thinking about it too small?
I think I I have old videos where I complained about Drake, even though I'm openly admitting that I'm a Drake fan. Um, but I was talking about the fact that he hasn't made any songs in reference social happenings, especially in the black community. And people are like, he's Canadian. I'm like, he has dual citizenships, you idiot. He has a house in L.
Canadian, but I'm sorry, I hate to say like this, you're Canadian, but you are perpetrating the black
He's not
culture.
perpetrating. He's Canadian. He's American. There's a bunch of Canadians that live here in America. They have dual citizenship. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but I said that he doesn't reference anything social happening. But then I caught his name on a couple of movies and shows that he executive produces. Not everyone is so straightforward with how they are
Okay.
contributing their voices to the conversation. Now, I get it. There's a lot of people that they do the hustle of going to restaurants and doing the reviews, and that is a way of giving back because he's putting
He is putting them
a
up.
spotlight on black businesses.
I feel
And
like sometimes I guess with me, I just don't understand the hype sometimes. If that makes sense, because I feel like, I don't know, I just be feeling like we could be giving that same hype to people who is out here in the field doing more. Or is that wrong to say? Like, I
oh,
don't
you're
know.
right. It's just that people don't care.
And
People,
that's why I'm
this is
just like, I feel like they be boasting about things for all the wrong reason. Because honestly, the only reason I was really confused is because people wasn't congratulating him on that aspect. So I didn't learn that's what he was saying, like famous for until afterwards. They were just so obsessed with his wife and their love. And I'm just like, so who is he and why is he famous? And then that's when I found out he was just the TikTok famous guy. Black people made him famous. But what he was trending for was for the love that he has for his wife.
oh, that's nice.
That's nice. But sad to say, I don't care.
I mean,
My mama and my daddy love each other just as much, and
I
they've been
mean,
together for years.
I mean, Miranda, we
Am I wrong?
no, 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 no.
Like,
I just think that is another question, and like instead of, I try to say it's still us because we're part of the black community, but we need to really ask ourselves about the things that we uplift. And
I feel like we uplift things that should be normal.
we up well.
Why? I'm sorry to
No, you're
say, but
right.
why
I'm not.
is
I wanted to
black
go
love
to.
like so, like, it should be
Let
normal?
me know what they selling. I mean, I'm sorry. I like Charlemagne the God, but he was selling mental health. He sells black love. My thing is this. No matter who you are fucking, if you're black, a woman or a male, when you have those babies, they're gonna be mixed little babies, and depending on how dark they are, they're still gonna be black in America. I don't like these people that have these things where they act like and I'm all for black love. Like black love is beautiful, but don't act like people who are not in a black on black relationship makes them any less black. Because I'm not any less black when I get pulled over. I'm not any less black when I pay my taxes, and I'm not any less black at my black cookouts and black family reunion functions. So that's one thing that's annoying. But what you're saying is so true because we do uplift things that should be normal, and it plays into the stereotype as if like we don't have, like you talk about your parents,
Yeah,
like we
like,
don't
I
have
don't
stable black
know. Yeah,
homes.
like, that's why I'm like, it just bothers me because the obsession with celebrity lives, like, judging these celebrities when you don't have nothing to show for your opinion. I'm sorry, you're giving opinions to people who don't give a shit about you.
But
You're congratulating people and you don't even congratulate your friends like that.
but but
That'd be my biggest problem.
but you said it before though, and I can't say it verbatim, but what you said made me think about it. Like these people, you said they should be celebrating people that's like out in the field. It'll be the same person that's home that works at Walmart or works at the local hospital, but they're big up. They're upping everyone else. Oh, the celebrities that are actors and all this stuff, but you won't big up the people that you work with side by side.
And
You're kind
that's
of ashamed.
really why I was so confused. Like, I just feel like people, like, honestly, lately, I don't even repost, like, I will go and I will like celebrities things, but I just personally don't feel like, why do I have to repost Rihanna's latest picture with her and ASAP Rocky and her baby bump? I don't know these people.
So
I love that she's pregnant and everything, but I just feel like it has nothing to do with me. I was not a fly on the wall when she conceived this baby.
You don't have celebrity crushes? I would have
I
liked
have
to be a
celebrity
fly
crushes
on the
or
wall.
anything. And I mean, I'm not knocking the people that do it, because I did used to do it until I woke up and realized I have friends currently that are pregnant. I have friends that have their business, friends that are doing the same thing that these celebrities are doing. We just don't got the same money.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like I said, I did cleanse my social media. I am still following Rihanna.
I love Rihanna. Like, no shade to Rihanna. I love Rihanna, but I feel like
I'm guilty. That's a celebrity
I'm
obsession.
not about to sit here and critique her whole picture or critique her relationship.
Well,
or
friend, do you want to just be honest about it? Some people don't have a wife. I don't mean to be
crazy.
I don't mean to be mean, but like, people like escapism. They like the fact that you can escape all day in this phone if you really want to. You can scroll on Instagram. I've gotten caught up on TikTok.
I feel like what bothers me, I give it about a conversation. I'm gonna talk about it, but to talk about it every motherfucking day for about 2-3 days. Sorry for cursing, but bitch, people be on TikTok with videos, part 1, 2, 3 each day, dropping about these people's lives. Like, y'all are weird.
But what are you digesting though? Like, and that's my thing. But see, all right, you said people are weird. But that's what I was doing my first 2 seasons. Now I would talk about politics, but then I would talk about something that was popular in pop culture, and I was like, it's like I had the same epiphany that you had. I said, what am I doing? I don't want to be a talking head talking about other people's lives when there's real shit going on out here.
Like,
I don't care about these people, and they don't care about me. It is weird.
And at the end of the day, all you do is fund in their pockets.
And the only thing, and you get a little bit more traction, and you argue with people and the thing. But that wasn't my intention with wanting to do a podcast. I wanted to have real conversations with people.
I like the podcast. Like, even when I were listening to podcasts, I like the podcasts that give you real life advice that can relate to anybody. I don't want to sit here and talk about, like, even though we talked about the Drake, it tied into talking about how trends started. I'm not trying to sit here and figure out Drake got his nails painted and keep up with it for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Like, I don't really care that much. And I feel like some people be so just digested into social media. Just like, I feel like now, like, why Black love is just so, or just being in love in general, I'm not even going to put no race on it, just love or anything, is so generalized, is because for the past couple of years, everybody was promoting toxic shit. Everybody was toxic kings and queens. And now that shit is failing. And now everybody wants this love. But then the way that they are going about it through brainwashing ass social media, y'all are weird. The people who feel like you have to talk to somebody every day, and I blame the pandemic on that, because we all had no motherfucking lives and we're just getting money for free so we can sit up here and be on the phone all goddamn day because you had the social distance. You feel like you have to be in contact with people every day. It's like the trends with just how you feel like you need to be treated in relationship with, even though, like, okay, this soft girl era bullshit, being a lady, is that what we're talking about? Because what is soft girl? That's another question. Social media has created this thing called soft girl. What is that?
You got to get out your phone. I
swear, I
don't know
my phone is toxic.
I don't know what any of this stuff is.
It's like something like, okay, you know, Summer Walker just released her new album called Soft Girl or something like that. And I don't know. I don't really know the definition of it. Everyone said they're in this soft girl era. I don't know what that is. Because I feel like, is it about being a lady? Because that's all I think about when I think of soft girl, being a lady. But you're a lady. You've been a lady all your life. You got a vagina.
For me,
What's a soft girl?
You say all of this stuff, and I just always just hear money. I just think that
It may be propaganda.
there's money in having a hot girl summer and having a hot boy summer.
This
but,
summer is soft girl, Jerome.
that's what I was gonna say though. That was 2 summers ago. It ain't much money in that anymore because a lot of those hot girls and a lot of those hot boys, they ended up dating somebody. They ended up getting somebody pregnant. Now the soft girl thing, and then who's the one actually pushing all of this? You can
and
say
that's why I'm like, what is soft girl in general? Like, I feel like, to me,
well, you gotta go soft after being a hot girl. I mean, I literally.
I guess if the heat make you hard. What
song was
cool?
that?
You cool?
It was a song. They were getting on because Ben Shapiro, he's a big like right wing guy, was reading Nicki Minaj lyrics, and it was another rapper, a coming up rapper.
Ice Spice?
No, I know Ice Spice. Oh. This is somebody else I don't know, but the lines. Yeah. I don't know. The lines were, and maybe if you know this line, and I might mess up some of the lines, but one line, the 2 most disturbing lines to me was something about my pussy is pink and my asshole was brown. My booty hole brown.
Oh, sexy red.
And then she says,
I'm out of town, thugging with my round.
And then she said, I need to find my.
I'm out here in Miami, looking for the hoochie daddy.
Because her son need a pappy. Nah, we done worked too hard. Our ancestors
hate that song.
worked way too hard for you to be saying something like that in a song that you are looking for a pappy for your son. Stop. But
I did see that clip because they said it's crazy that Nicki hopped on that song after saying
no, it's not
something
crazy,
about the real talent is gone or
it's
something.
Not crazy. Nikki, I'm tired. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, what it is? The Barbs for them? Come after me, Barbs. Nicki Minaj is whack. She signed Ice Spice. We already see she's struggling. She's struggling
signed
to get
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice is like signed to her somehow or something like that.
Oh wow.
Nicki Minaj just jump on anything.
I just feel like she's trying to remain relevant because she feels like she's losing her power.
You articulated that way better than me.
Honestly, I really do love Nicki. But I do feel like she's just trying to remain relevant. When I feel like, girl, you need to be like Beyonce, quiet.
To me,
if you know you're a queen, you a queen.
And this is another thing about talking about celebrities again. But like, that's my thing about like when you just look at people's personalities and you can see like this like selfishness. Whenever Nicki Minaj complains about the discrepancies within hip hop for women, it has something to do with her. Mm-hmm. Same thing when Elon Musk complains about the happenings in his world, it has to do something personally with him. Same thing with Kanye West. Every time he complains about the music industry or the fashion industry, shout out to Pharrell who just did his show for Louis Vuitton. It's really you. You have the issue. So let's just say you have the issue. But to me, that song was nuts. But that was another thing that was on social media that I saw that.
All of that. But yeah, that's why I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel the obsession with celebrities is weird.
I brought that up because I was saying, look at the topic and the lyrics in that song. So now it's soft girl summer, because we've been hot.
But it's like soft girl, but then like you said, Sexy Red song is anything but soft. So, bitch, you was aggressive. I'm out here in Miami looking for my sugar daddy, bitch. Where you at? That's aggressive as fuck.
But
bitch, pick and choose you this day who you gonna serve, master. That's why I'm like, to me, I just feel like just be a lady. It's not hard to be a lady.
Well,
you don't have to put a soft girl, hard girl, or anything on it. Be a lady. Period.
But
stop acting like you a linebacker for the Falcons. Be a lady.
That's my whole thing about the hip hop thing. Like, and I guess maybe I'll be going even too old school. We're talking about like Queen Latifah or MC Lyte. But even if you want to take it to, you can take it to Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown too. But there was a sexuality in their music that we had never really seen before, and we called it raunchy. But it's different because to me, I feel like it's different because the hip hop now with women talking about sex, it doesn't sound, and maybe this is how women really talk that dirty or whatever it is. I'm not trying to sound like a grandpa, but my thing is that they really, to me, sound like dudes talking about it. And I
I get that. I do. I
and,
do.
and so my thing is when you start talking about like what are you reclaiming when you're just putting on and acting like what guys
But
act
you know
like.
what? What was crazy though? Ooh, excuse me, because it was a debate. I think I saw it on TikTok or something like that. And they were saying, I don't know if it was about Suki or whoever, or maybe it was Instagram. I was reading the comments because lately, I don't really just read headlines. I look into the comments to see other people's opinions and things about
But you
it
do read
or
the
whatever. But I read the headline. I take
do
what
you
I
do you
feel.
do you read the actual article though? See, and that's my
I
thing.
need to read the
But
article. I'm
see,
sorry,
but that's what.
but
But talking about social media and the information being there, people will go look in the comments to find out what the article is about before they go and read it themselves. So you just
certain
amplify that.
things.
You
Okay, well, I
amplify
will
that and think
say
about how society is. That's
certain
all I'm
things
saying.
I do research. Certain things I will look into a little bit more. I'll Google facts about it or whatever. But I do go in the comments just to see other people's opinions. And I honestly don't know who was it about, like Suki or Sexy Red, one of the girls, one of the girlies. But they were saying how maybe it was about Suki because how she portrays herself, Sukiana with the good coochie. You ever heard of her before? Yeah, that's a crazy name, right? But they were saying how she I'm sorry, Jerome. But it was a situation that went on and YK, I don't know how to say his name, y'all. I'm not even about to butcher this man's name,
YK
but
Osiris?
his name. I was gonna say Orisis, whatever the fuck his name is. Osiris. How he like tried to kiss her in the mouth.
Oh,
on the
I know you're
interview.
talking about.
Okay, yeah. And so in the comments, they were just saying like Trina used to rap dirty as hell, but you've never seen no men in the industry try her like that.
Oh no, we're not doing that today. I don't care how raunchy or nasty these women talk in their songs. It doesn't give anybody permission to
But I
violate
just
like
feel
that.
like, what is the reason why they feel like they can do that as Suki, but not Trina?
That's just him. That's the individual. Stop. That's
Just
him.
him?
It's just.
But in other interviews, men started talking to her real crazy, like, we can go in the back right now. It was another interview. Right before that happened, this dude was trying her on the interview, like, we can go in the back right now. I don't know if it was for views or whatever, but she did look uncomfortable. But then, like, after the interview, he was rubbing her feet. I don't know. Maybe it was for views to make her look, like, uncomfortable. I don't know. You know, they edit things differently.
It could be, but who's dude on No Jumper that has the slick back hair? That every time I'm on Snap, they have videos of him snapping on women. He snaps on dudes too, but I don't. I'm so out of touch with what's going on that I don't even understand people's behavior.
And I just be like,
I actually don't get it. I don't get it. I think there's always been an issue with men and boundaries with women. And in this country, a country that doesn't believe with a country with a Supreme Court that does not believe in being pro-choice, I think men find any reason or any excuse to say, well, this is why I was inappropriate and I behaved poorly. It's because she did something.
I definitely
we always point the finger, just like with the affirmative action thing for the schooling admissions. We keep talking about how the Asians feel like the Asian community feel like they're being discriminated against with the affirmative action for schooling, right? Mm-hmm. The data doesn't say that, but when you want to talk about conspiracy, why don't y'all look into the Republicans and Democrats weaponizing the Asian vote, because that's what's happening. Because unlike the Black Americans in this country, when a community is being oppressed, they leverage that with political power. They make it very hard for us to leverage it with political power, but we make it easier for them when they don't vote. When we don't vote, but if you look at the I lost my train of thought. If you look at that situation, they keep saying, well, this person is oppressed, but it's not that bad. We should all be equal. This person is oppressed. It's not that bad, though. And then we're like, it is that bad. You don't know what it's like to be oppressed like this. And we all keep pointing the fingers at us all being oppressed when why are we not looking at who's not oppressed?
I had a class on that in undergrad.
We never look at what, we're talking about the women in the raps. Well, forget the rapping. What's making these men feel like they can talk to women however they feel like, just because they're rapping about
something? is like the new thing where women don't feel comfortable rejecting men. Me personally, y'all gonna just have to choke me and I just go to the Lord and talk about it because baby, I'm going to reject you.
Oh no, I
If
can't.
I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. I don't really care, baby. Shoot me, kill me, do whatever. That is what you're gonna have to take it with the Lord
Man,
because I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to feel like talking to you. And I feel like men are just like, oh my God, okay. We do have a new episode coming up, but it's not gonna be the next episode. But yeah, men are fucking creeps.
I
Some men are creeps. I'm not gonna say all men are creeps, but men are creepy. They're disgusting. They're nasty. And I just feel like sometimes the way that they come off of women is just weird. And I'm not even gonna blame that on social media. I just feel like some men can be very weird.
I
It's
think
disgusting.
social media has heightened it. I am a male. I identify as a male, and I tell you, we ain't shit.
I identify. That's
I
crazy.
tell you, I know.
We have to
Because
say that
I was
now.
about to say like and this might be controversial, but I feel like the number three people like who are oppressed in America is black women, then black men, and then just women. Period. And they be coming for y'all. Like, I don't want no smoke with the trans community. I love y'all. But sometimes y'all don't be wanting to have conversations. And y'all just got to understand, because I didn't really understand about how it must feel to be like, well, now I have to say I'm a cis female, I'm a cis male
One of my
to make
friends
space.
just told me how they are now putting tampons and pads in bathrooms for the trans women.
And that's my thing. You just
And
have
we didn't even have those before.
and it's just identity. It's like identity is so important to us, and then we act like it's not. And it's my same thing with just discrimination. Period. I just feel like as a black man, with everything that has been gifted to me from ancestors, that I can't discriminate against anyone. I just because I know what it's like to be discriminated against. I don't have to agree with you, but I can't sit back and let someone discriminate against you because I know what happens in the long run. And I feel like we should all feel that way when we know what the history is. But I think social media heightens all that stuff.
It
Because
does.
you have open access to porn whenever you want. Free porn at that.
Oh my
I'm talking about.
God.
I used to have to watch the scrambled television to watch porn because we didn't have
Jerome,
the
you
indicate.
old.
I'm old as fuck. So when they talk, you got a free porn, and you got women that's doing
You ain't had the
OnlyFans.
HBO?
We had HBO, but we had cable connect. Like we had to actually connect it to the wall where it was to be scrambled. If you turn to it, yeah, trying to watch a titty there, some pussy there. It was.
Jerome is
It
old
was,
now.
it was, yeah, I'm old as shit. I keep trying to tell y'all, black don't crack, and y'all need to moisturize.
Oh my God. Vitamin E,
yeah,
vitamin
but
D.
but yeah, I'm telling you, so
Porn is like, even on Twitter porn.
you can put. I can't
That is
imagine being a male.
scary.
I can't imagine being a male. And then someone says something to me. Now see, there's a lot of men in my family, and men in my family are very manly, but they all been raised by women. So there's a certain thing. My father, when we would get off the elevator in our building, he'd put like when I was young, push me
for
back
the
to let women
to walk out first.
from ingrained in me from when I was a kid
That's the real
to
man
do stuff
right
like
there.
that. He would not play any games. He look at me.
These
I only
men
take
nowadays,
notes.
they is PUSSY and they sassy and they have no manners. Like,
I couldn't
I be
imagine.
feeling bad for the girlies who be like heightened by the little things. Like, I listen to a lot of audiobooks just that reminds me that as women we should not be shocked by what men do. And I feel like social media heightens the most dumbest of shit, like getting flowers. He's supposed to do that. If you gotta tell your man to get you some flowers and he don't randomly just do that, I feel bad for you.
It's the violence for me.
Yeah, okay. Like opening the door, just random chivalry. I'm sorry if your man making you walk on the side of the sidewalk while he on the inside, and you being the man, you get hit by the car, he keep walking. I feel bad for you, sis. That's not how it's supposed to be. Like, we should not. I just personally feel like I am not congratulating no man on doing what he needs to do.
My thing is
Period.
this: I already knew there was a change in the culture just when I would see videos, and it would be a man hitting a woman, and in the comments, people are asking, "Well, what did she do? What
Oh
happened in the beginning of the video?"
my God.
y'all different. So when you say that,
Oh my
you say it, and I know
God.
you halfly jokingly and halfly serious when you say you're just gonna have to choke me and the law gonna have to talk about it. But I would, as a woman, I would be fearful out here. I don't go
Yeah,
nowhere without
because
my
it's
gun because
crazy.
niggas are
Yeah, like
crazy.
men are really crazy nowadays. Like they really,
It's because
and you know what's scary? The ones that say my mama taught me that if a female hit me, I hit them back.
I believe that now because Miranda, what
I
the
have no words. I have no words for that statement because I just feel like at the end of the day, this goes back to the first podcast about treat people how you want to be treated. And if somebody is putting their hands on you, you don't need to be around them. You should not want to be with nobody where you get out of your character that you are hitting them.
but see,
That is crazy. Male or female, y'all should not be touching. No, y'all should not be touching each other.
oh, I agree, but see, we're talking about social media and we're talking about influence, and that's why someone had said it to me about that rap music and listening to it all the time and how is that negative energy and you are
It puts
inviting that
that
you're
vibe
inviting that
on
energy
you.
into the world. So now I'm not because I guess with this argument you could say, well, then they could be asking for it too when a man assaults her and kisses her and she doesn't ask for it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
He
if
deserves to get smacked. You just kissed me without
but
my permission. I'm
what
gonna smack the shit out of you.
but,
Yes, I
but
am.
what I'm saying is when some people can be obsessed and influenced by social media and celebrities, when you hear music like that and you talking about, oh, I can do this, oh, I don't care about niggas and stuff like that, I can see how that mentality goes down to a woman that says,
Oh,
yeah,
I beat on niggas.
that and if she hit you, hit her back because you think that this culture and
I
this mentality
definitely
is a
feel like
thing.
I do feel like I came a long way. I'm not gonna sit here and act like whatever, but it was just at a point in my life where I just wasn't understanding honestly. But it's like you live and you learn, you grow, and I just feel like I'm not about to go around here boasting that I hit niggas or because I feel like that's saying you don't know how to control yourself. That means that you get mad and you act like a child. You want to throw and punch things like you're a 3-year
Well,
old.
it's toxic, and it goes even further than social media. It has to do with what you normalize as love
And
growing
what you
up
seen,
too.
yeah, what you seen growing up.
Because people, some people
I ain't gonna
violence
say
is
I've
a.
seen nothing like that. I just feel like at the time, I probably I just didn't know how to properly handle my anger.
Oh, you're a reformed man beater. You used to
Disclaimer:
see,
no comment.
but
But I would definitely say that it takes people wanting to grow, wanting to learn how to love differently. Because if somebody's not giving you what you want, which I might get a little backlash for this, I feel like it comes from in certain households when you ain't do what needed to be done, or if you did something incorrect, how your mom beat your ass. So people feel like I need to beat this nigga or beat this woman for them to do what I need them to do. I just seen a clip, y'all.
I've
I'm
never
not going
felt
to
that
lie.
way.
I just seen a clip where I explained why he beat Tina Turner. You
we're
seen
not
that clip?
we're not doing that. We're
I'm
not.
sorry. Did y'all
We're
you
not.
seen the clip?
Well, I've not seen that clip.
He said he beat her because she used to walk around sad, and he used to smack her because he was tired of her walking around sad. And he said after that she'll be happy. That's some crazy shit, right?
I'd love to know what happened to Ike growing up. I forget. I think I had read something about him, and it's a shame that such a brilliant artist is that overshadows him. But I can't condone, especially the way he beat Tina. I can't condone anybody.
He beat her because she was sad. She's sad because you beating her ass.
He could rationalize it however he wanted to rationalize
crazy.
it.
But it's like I just feel like that ties back. So it's like hand in hand with the soft parenting. That's another thing I see on social media. I can see why people would rather soft parent than to beat their children for not doing something correctly. You need to explain what you need them to do or explain why it was wrong for what they did instead of just beating them to think that after I beat them, they're going to get what they did, why they did what was wrong.
So I want to jump a little bit because I want to go to can social media lead to depression? But before you say that, before we go to that, do you feel like social media currently erase shame from society.
Oh,
Only because the only reason why I want to go into shame is because some of these acts and what we're talking about is very shameful. Like it could be shameful depending upon how you look on
people
it.
make everything a joke now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Social media do make me laugh, but some of the things we crack jokes about should not.
Well,
We should not be cracking
well,
jokes
we're
about.
desensitized, and I started a lot during COVID because those numbers went up every day. But because, and that's what showed me how selfish we are as humans. I worked through the whole pandemic,
Me
so
too.
people are like, "Yo, I need to be out. I need to be out." Like I don't want to stay home. Which you need to ask yourself why it was so hard for you to stay home, and with your family. But people didn't want to stay home, so the numbers when we seeing 300 people die a day, we're like, it's not that bad. It was worse before. So we're talking about 300 people dying a day. Even
Hmm.
at 300 people dying a day, 300 times 7, what is that? That's 2100.
I'm not good at
I
math,
believe
y'all.
that's 2,100 people. What do we celebrate every
Don't y'all judge me in
9/11?
the comments because I'm not good at math.
What do we celebrate? I could have been wrong. What do we celebrate every 9/11? We celebrate 2,300 people that got killed. Now I live right on the waterfront. I could smell the metal burning. I had people, I didn't lose anybody in it, but I had friends that I grew up with and went to school with that they lost people. I
Hmm.
watched the one tower fall right from the library of my school. We celebrate it every year. It's been over 20 years. But y'all want to say the numbers aren't real. Anything to deflect from what the actual truth that's in front of you. We can talk conspiracy, we can talk all of this stuff. Y'all know when all of the job openings were there and they couldn't get people to go to work, how things were vacant. You can see it all around you that these people actually died, but we're desensitized. So every time we see a black person murdered by the police, it's just another
It's
video
another
now.
day,
It's just a
another
different
video.
day.
Yeah,
We're
I
so
definitely feel
desensitized.
like social media definitely just it erased morals and it erased shame. People aren't they don't have any
I
shame no
do want to
more.
look on the positive of that though, because depending on how you view social media, you could say um, the shame being absent is a negative, but that shame being erased is allowing people to be their most authentic selves and have honest and open conversations about things that do matter. That's not about celebrities. That's not even about politics, just about spiritual growth. That's why it's like what you're digesting on your news feeds on Instagram, TikTok, because you can get a bunch of information out there if you're following the right people. And then even then you still have to vet. Just like you'll find out a lot of these hip hop pages on Instagram are run by white people. And I
Yeah.
don't have any issue with it being run by white people if y'all have some white news up. It can't be a whole bunch of negative stuff about black people in the culture and it's white run. I'm sorry. That
That's weird.
that's very weird. You should stop making money off of us.
It's giving racist.
I won't
You're
even say it's
trying to
racist.
well not
Stop pimping.
race, but you're
Stop
trying to
pimping
shun
us.
us. You're trying to shun us and make money off of it.
So that's where I feel like that shame being gone is pretty cool because not too many people have to worry about posting something and someone being like, "Oh, you ugly as shit. Oh, you need to drop some weight." You might get some people that are like that, but there is a safe space that you can create even on Reddit. You can post things anonymously and have conversations with people around without that shame. So while we are talking about the negatives because there are negatives, but we got to look at both sides. There are some positives
There are.
to social media, and it could be used very
It
positively.
could.
But the people that are in control of these things are not.
Because I do feel like Instagram control what they want people to
Oh,
see.
all the time.
Like, so that goes into the next question about the depression.
Can
And can
social media
social media
lead to
lead to
depression?
depression?
Of course.
I definitely do believe that it can. And I feel like that ties back into what you said about controlling your news feed. Certain things, if you're seeing a bunch of negative, weird, you know, crazy things, that energy is start going to radiate through the phone. It's going to start making you feel a type of way. I feel like also social media, the new thing, people like to compare their lives
That's what I
through
was going to
social
say from the
media.
first episode. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And so yeah, I seen this post on social media that said, which is ironic, it was on social media, but it said people social media only highlights the better parts or the great parts out of people's lives. It don't highlight the negative. And I saw this skit that it was funny. This guy, he was in Lenox, or he was just in a nice mall buying all this designer clothing. And then he come back to a house like a trap house. He's sleeping on the couch. It's no running water. Like, yeah. And then the homeowner's like, you need to sell some of this designer so we can like have a place to stay. He's like, I ain't selling my shit. That's how these people be. Like Jerome said, he knows people that go out and they just know the DJ at the club. They don't know nobody. Baby ain't got a section.
I knew people. I can't mess with people like that.
He knew people that did that. It's crazy because I feel like we should not compare our lives to people on social media because you never know how they're living behind closed doors. I don't never compare myself to nobody on social media because you don't never know how their life is behind closed doors. Once that camera starts recording that little 30-second video, 1 minute video, whatever little piece, you don't know what they like. As soon as that camera go off, they could be getting it. I ain't promoting domestic violence, but they could just, the Lord could be beating them up.
No, it's true.
Their life could be a corner in their house that look like they living the best life possible, and the rest of the house is a shack. It's a mess. No running water, no AC. Like, and so I do feel like it leads to depression 50% because we are always comparing ourselves. We never feel like we need to be where we're at because we see this 22-year-old, this 23-year-old that's a billionaire, or they have this great business, or they're blowing up from doing something, but you don't know what they did to get there, number one. Well, and you don't know if they're truly happy doing what they're doing once that camera turns off.
So there's a formula for there's a formula for all of it. And you could say we've gotten to this with Instagram due to, just trying to fix my mic, due to the nature of what Instagram was at first. At first it was just photos. So you're not posting, usually you're not posting.
Go back to that.
Yeah, usually you're not posting anything that's just like some regular thing. It's you decked out, you look good. So already in our minds, it's when I post, I have to post the best thing. You know, and then with celebrities, yeah, everyone's like, oh, you know, sometimes I gotta post, you know, I'm not always winning. Sometimes I feel sad. And you're saying that in your mansion, but we love celebrities and we feel like they're talking to us. So we're like, oh my God, they get it. It's just like me. God. But if you were to go on and get on and say, I'm feeling this way, you're crying, people say,
like,
you
bitch,
crazy.
You broke. They're gonna be like, this hoe done lost all that money from that accident. That hoe broke.
You crazy and you broke. And and you just have to think. That's why I always say I judge people how they treat me the first time they meet me, not knowing anything about me, because you'll see how people switch up. And all it takes is a camera. All it takes is a car, a house, or the circle that you're in. Mm-hmm. That's why so many people can run game on social media. Because do you remember when everyone was in the private planes? Do you don't remember when everyone would take photo shoots in private planes and you trying to figure out?
But I feel like they still do that.
Oh, they still do that. You know what that game is though, right? What that play is? Someone will know someone that has a private jet plane, and they all pretty much just split the fee based on someone that already rents it. It's all just a money thing at the end of the day.
To make it look like you flying private.
Yeah. Someone had offered me to do that like years ago, and I was actually thinking about doing it with my manager at the time. He's like, I think he was like, it's like $250. We just gonna fly from here to Philly because I was in Jersey, and I'm like, this is how people do it.
That's a 5-minute flight. If that.
That's why it's so cheap, though.
That's stupid. What?
No, it's not, because see, this is what ends up happening. All right, so a lot of these social media people who have these followings that you see, or they run masterminds. Not all of them are fake. A lot of these people are actually doing it, and it's real. But then you have people that are just scamming. So what if I wanted to scam? I know exactly what I would have to do. You still have to have money for it. Don't get me wrong. It's not cheap. But I would go, okay, so who's to connect with the private jet plane? Okay. Who's to connect with the car rentals? Okay. You know so-and-so who works at this club, so we can get in and get a section for the cheap. I'm going to call so-and-so, the models that I know, we're going to go. If I want to do something like that, Miranda, and we wanted to make it seem like we're bigger, we go get some chain. We can get some real chains, just rent him. And if we know the right people, yes, Miranda. And it's all just for show. We rent the house as an Airbnb. Don't put the address up. Yeah, you can create a whole persona. That's why a lot of people out here scamming and people get. But Miranda, it's not just normal folk like us. Billionaires and millionaires get caught up in scams like this too. Somebody just lost a whole bunch of money on some dumb. For instance, that Titan shit. That dude was charging people $250.
Was he on the boat with them?
Yes, he was charging people $250,000 a seat. Now, I watched the tour of that video, and he's like, yeah, this is the little deck. You can probably sit down. You got this much leg room with 5 other people, $250,000 a head, remind you. And he goes, and it's all controlled by this. And he picks up a game controller remote. I'm not even talking like a PS5 remote control. They said it was a 2013 Logitech control. Now, I'm not trying to shit on Logitech. I'm pretty sure y'all got some good materials going on over there. But if that was me taking you on a tour of
First of all, I don't know how to swim.
Of my submersible that I said
I don't even get in 6 feet. You want me to go how many feet?
He kept saying this was built with off-the-shelf material. Who wants off-the-shelf? You know what off-the-shelf means? That means that me and you can walk into that bitch and buy it like because it's right off the... You're talking about you're creating carbon fiber that people have told you, experts have told you is not going to survive multiple trips down that far into the ocean, but you say, no, it's fine. I'm charging people $250,000. And he was trying to get influencers.
Who approved that?
That's what I want to know. How, and I'm sorry, but that's why when I say it must be good to be white, that no third party ever questioned him. He has a white man probably with
they're
some...
They're not going to sue nothing. Like, they can't sue him,
They
right?
can't sue him because they signed, but gross negligence, that you knew that there's something wrong and you didn't say anything. And there's a lot of people saying it. But what they're finding out is that he tried to get a bunch of social media influencers to go down with him. Every time they tried to go, there was some kind of issue and then some people would back out. But he was trying to leverage influence. Because if your favorite social influencer goes on this trip, and it's $250,000 now. You know, even what's her name, Bad Baby, Catch Me Outside. You know, she making millions off her OnlyFans. Imagine someone like that going down, and everybody knows her. Oh, $250,000. A lot of people have that now. So all I have to do is get to the right influence. Same thing with music. When you try to do musical promotions on Instagram and stuff like that, or you're doing it through social media, which you got to watch out for a lot of scammers out there. They'll tell you, oh, I can get this influencer to play your music. This influencer has 100,000 followers. When you start breaking it all down, it turns into money. That's why I told you that's the only reason why I got interested in social media, because when they start realizing the money you can make off of it, it became about the ads. It became about how many plays you get, how many followers you get. I told you people are getting acting gigs, which I went to school for acting, trained actor. And now, based on your followers, determines if you can get a role sometimes. Well, what kind of following you have? 100,000?
So, I told myself I'm trying to get on a Tubi movie. Any Tubi?
Don't. I went to a terrible... I don't care. I'm going to say it on here because I don't really fuck with dude, because dude had an attitude about him. I mean, I didn't realize that you can... No, Tubi's a great platform. I just didn't realize the kind of films that they let on the Tubi and the quality of them. Mm-hmm. If I realized that, I would have put my stuff up there a long time ago, and I can. But I'm not even trying to act holier than that. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people, and that's the thing about social media. People feel like, oh, I pick up a camera and now I'm this. Yeah. Oh, I just did this and now I'm an actor.
I just seen a clip from a Tubi movie. It was so horrible. The sex scene wasn't even believable. She still had her shorts on. I'm so serious. It was on Twitter.
But that's my thing, though, about another thing about social media that is very misleading when you talk about people only show the success and not everything that it takes to get there. So a lot of people get these looks and they don't be ready. Oh, you have one hot song, and then when that call comes, you don't have anything else.
And I hate to go back to Sexy Red, but before she should be doing big shows, they need to put her in some type of training. She performs on stage like how I perform in the shower.
Oh, or
how I perform in my room before I go out to the club.
Because it doesn't matter. That's why I keep trying to tell you.
And I don't believe the crowd should throw no tomatoes at her. I didn't even know people do that for real. I thought that was something you saw on TV, but you really throwing food at me.
Where do you even get tomatoes from?
That's crazy. Yeah, they was throwing food at her. I don't know if they threw tomatoes, but they threw food at her.
But that's my whole thing about
But it's like, I don't know who's over her.
But
Is she? Well, you don't know.
but
I don't
that
know if she's over
but that's what I'm trying to
anybody.
when I before I got signed to an indie label, I was in artist development. They taught me interview etiquette. I went through all of that training. I don't know if people get training like this
I
anymore
don't
because
think so.
these
So
record
social media
be-
is so
because the record labels all they care
big.
about are numbers. And and even though I was shitting on my own past seasons, I broke it down for y'all. There's about four major record labels. All of that other stuff where they say distributed by, those are just subsidiaries. There's about one company that's running the whole music industry, and they don't look like us. So you tell me how someone like that has a following, that's rapping about what they're rapping about, why are we even talking about her? Why I even know I know of her lyrics? Obviously,
TikTok.
but everyone will say, "Oh, well, there's a gay agenda to turn my children gay." Why don't you listen to the freaking music you're listening to? Because I'll tell you, growing up, RuPaul was a very, very prominent figure, and I never said, I want to wear dresses." That's not the problem, y'all. Why don't y'all listen to these people when they tell y'all how they feel and who they are and just let it be?
That's so crazy. That's why I'm just like, I don't know. Social media is just so, it's really the devil. It's it just has so much control, and it just controls the dynamic of so much. Like, even thinking back to like 2 or 3 years ago, the fact that social media can really get people canceled.
Well, so
And until they do it to themselves.
but the social media influence people's morals, and I think that's a good thing
it do influence people's morals. People congratulate weird shit.
Don't
Like,
forget what you were saying though, because I wanted to piggyback into what you were saying.
wait, go
I wasn't
ahead.
trying to. I wasn't trying to
Go ahead.
change this. I forgot what you were saying.
Wait, just now?
Yeah.
When shit, hold on. Like just now.
Just now.
Before.
Before I said the morals, because I was about to piggyback of what you were saying, because you were saying something about people. It's so funny because you can just easily rewind this.
Hold on. I said what was he talking about? Cause we were talking about sexy red.
Oh, people being canceled. People
Yeah.
being canceled very easily. And I'm hoping that goes away a little bit, because that, to me,
People make mistakes.
exactly. It's clear when people are who they are, and we need to believe them. But there's sometimes when people do make mistakes. But then I think the actual question that you have on here is: does social media influence? Does it influence people's morals? And I think it does, though, because you'll see people step out on a limb and say something crazy just because
They can say
and they'll get traction.
Mhm.
So you're morally compromised. So, and then you get upset when you get canceled. It's like some people, I feel like, will do things just so they can get canceled because people are talking about you. It's like when Kanye was going through that and he was getting canceled, he just kept going.
Yeah, he really did.
I also think he was having an episode, but he was telling people, if you're not a billionaire, you can't talk to me. And now he's not even a billionaire anymore. So it's like you think about what people's morals are, and you kind of, just like with us. Like I don't mind being in a setting like this, because I'll talk and you'll just keep hearing more of my truth, and it's me the whole time. You're not gonna be like, damn, I didn't know he was that crazy. No, I'm pretty much, this is me all the time. But a lot of these celebrities, they don't have to get that opportunity to talk.
And I feel bad for them, because I feel like, before you get famous or before you get that traction, you got that traction from being who you were. And so to get famous and then not be able to speak your mind because your money is tied to it feels like slavery.
But see, that's what Kevin Hart said. Kevin Hart was pretty much like, I can do whatever I want because he has his own company. He went his own way. So in some ways, I feel
Shout
like
out to Kevin Hart.
I feel like some celebrities do get stuck where they can't do certain things. Like Kevin Hart will also say he doesn't smoke weed. Like, not only because of the business deals that he has, but because he says, look at the people who smoke weed. He's like, I need to be up at this time. I'm a business. I'm running, doing this, doing that. There's some people, though, I hate to keep going back to Kanye West, but if you let them talk long enough, they'll reveal them true selves. Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, because I don't want to use, I don't want to use Kanye because I feel like he was having an episode. But Elon Musk, and they say he's on the spectrum, but if you listen, if he talks long enough, you start to hear his selfishness. Like he's like, oh, people need to start going back to work. A lot of these people that feel like people need to go back to work are people who have money wrapped up in real estate in these buildings that are vacant, these office buildings, because people are working remotely now. Now you see people talking about how, well, working remote is not that bad. So so when it comes to morals and social media, I feel like if you have real morals, social media shouldn't change anything. I think social media just amplifies
The people who don't have morals.
exactly.
I really, and that ties back to the other question about not having shame, because I feel like social media promotes so much negativity. Like, people could be going out here stabbing family members in their back doing weird shit, and people would justify it on social media like, well, they shouldn't care because it is. You are fucking weird.
You got well.
Like, you are weird, because I just feel like, I don't even know the word for it, but when it comes to morals, I feel like morals aren't something that is created or something. I feel like it's something that is like, you have good morals and you have bad morals, and there's no in between. I feel like, is it like, do is like do we create the good morals? I feel like no. I just feel like you have good morals and you have bad morals, and certain characteristics create bad morals.
Yeah, I see.
Like,
I feel like yeah, you're gonna be brought up depending on your background. You're gonna have certain morals, and then as you grow older, you really start to come into your own morals, your boundaries of how you see life, how you want to be treated, how you think other people should be treated, how you see the world around you. I don't think some people even do that homework, but if they do or they don't, and it happens subconsciously, you start to find out that people really don't have morals. Just like you know, I'm sorry, I always relate it to like music or stuff or even acting. Music, they'll be like, well, why don't you just dumb it down and do this, do something that's catchy or whatever. That's number one thing they like to say. Do something that's catchy. Do what they're doing. That's not what I want to do. But you know, if you did that though, you
you
get
can
more
blow
attraction.
up. Yeah. But
No.
that's not you. It's only gonna last but so long until you want to go back into what you're used to, and now your fan base is like, "What the fuck is this?"
So morally, who am I? Then you start to have an identity crisis of who you are. Same thing with women. I had an acting friend. She was like, I wanted this agency to hit me up, and it's for a role where this woman's a prostitute and she's topless. Now, morally, even just as and I'm going to morals for an artist, not personally, really, but morally as an artist, if that's not
That's not you.
that's not you. So why would you? No. But people's morals, you'll start to find out quickly, especially when it comes to money
It'll
or
change.
or notoriety. It will change for people.
I just feel like at the end of the day, like, you can't be a sellout for some money
Oh,
or
but you
just to
can.
get that traction.
A lot of people feel like you can.
That's so scary. Like, I don't know. I just feel like God has a plan for everybody, and trying to go about it that way is weird. Like, I just read that, finished a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. He just, in that book, it was a saying that said, the man who acquires money easily never keeps it, and it never comes with good fortune. That is so true. Like, you get that money easily, you're going to never like be good. Like, it's going to run out. You going to get it, it's not going to last long. And I'm not promoting drug dealing or anything, but before you become the big guy, you was just a corner boy. It took work to get there. So just apply that to like these scammers who hitting bank accounts, coming up on all this money in less than 24 hours. It's good for right now. But the way that the money is going, and I just feel like they're personally trying to erase paper, and they're trying to flip over to electronic money and crypto in the near future and all that weird stuff. They're going to get you. They're going to catch up. If they haven't caught on yet, they're just waiting for the right time to catch on and get everything back together. And not even saying that they're going to like make you pay it back, but enjoy this while you can. And if you are scamming, invest that money into something that is going to provide you with money, but legitimate money. But just blowing it to show that you got money is like ridiculous. Like I talk to like so much financial advisors and just people that got real money. They invest. They use that money to help them make more money. Another thing that social media ain't gonna teach you, like you can sit here and you can make money off social media all you want to, but everything comes to an end. And the people that make real money is because they find things that are going to always be needed.
You can follow some pages, but you have to vet things, and that's the thing. People don't really vet things. I know we got to wrap up. Does social media have a negative effect on the younger generation? I think we touched on it a little bit, just even when we were talking about domestic violence. I think with this whole me mentality of this vision of success that you see on social media, um, it becomes a very materialistic kind of society that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though there's so many positives where I feel like you can find safe spaces on here, I feel like there is also the negative side. So it's just really up to you what you choose. But um, we've had access to all of this stuff forever. It's just more accessible. Um, I can't imagine just for the younger generation because working in the restaurant industry back in the day, you'd see kids on iPads like at age 3. So they're doctrined into computers and these gadgets so quickly now as
That's
kids.
scary too. Like my nephew was watching something one time. It was like GTA Spider Man. It was like GTA, but the dude was dressed up as Spider Man, robbing people. That is not your neighborhood friendly Spider Man. What the fuck?
But
Get
yeah,
that shit off YouTube, cause I'm about to find y'all and really see
yeah,
about
no,
y'all.
they
Why is my 2 year old watching that?
yeah. So it's like and you can get into the whole like the turning the kids gay, all that stuff.
Oh Lord.
I don't subscribe to that. I think that's BS. Check on your kids and actually have conversations with
Thank
them.
you. Stop giving your child an iPad because you want to be chilling with motherfucking TJ in the projects. And your baby on that iPad watching Lord knows what. Probably on. Yo,
It's not even
I
TJ in the
seen
price.
this
Everybody.
kid watching South Park. He was 8 years old, bro. Why is he watching South Park? Do y'all know the shit that goes on in South Park? First of all, my brain subconsciously did not understand South Park until recently. Maybe my brain just didn't mature enough
It's
yet. But I just feel like South Park is an adult
it
show.
is. It says TV mature. Like, but
Why
it's
is
a
an 8 year old watching? Why is this shit on TikTok? He was watching on TikTok.
why are they on TikTok? There's certain things that like it's the same thing when they try to blame violence on hip hop or in the movies and stuff.
Watch
Now,
Gracie
don't get me
Corner.
wrong. I still believe that these things, like even the video games, like modern warfare, like it is teaching us about weapons, and it does glorify weapons. Now, whether you go and choose to go out and use these weapons,
That's your decision.
that is your decision, and it has something to do with you, what's going on with you mentally. But a lot of access to these things, I don't think helps. But like I watched Terminator 2 on repeat when I was a kid. I used to watch Chucky, Michael Myers, and I'm not a serial killer that y'all know of.
Side eye. Side eye. But
They
it's
gonna use them.
like, I don't know. I just feel like it just depends on, it just depends. Because even with Terminator, I feel like he was kind of killing the bad guys.
He was still
Right?
killing people.
He was
though.
still killing, but he was killing for a good reason.
I also love Arnold. But so with that said, the last question, how do you spread positivity on social media? I see people that have profiles that's about chakras and your birth chart. There's things about meditation. These are the things that I start to
I
follow.
feel like it's about just telling people that it's okay to be them and just spreading a no judgment type of thing. Because I feel like a lot of the times with the negativity, it's because people just be judging about everything. Like even when I was scrolling through TikTok, someone posted like a bunch of dirty dishes and like my least favorite thing about cooking, and someone said, "This is why you clean as you go, bitch." What if I don't want clean as I go. What if I got 31 dishes going, 31 meals being prepared at one time? I got time to clean as I go. I'ma still say this is my least favorite part. Don't mean that talking about adulting is that like certain things like that get on my nerves because why are you telling people what they should do in their house?
See, I clean as I go, but I wouldn't judge somebody else for not
Long as
cleaning.
they get it done.
But that's my thing is like even on here, like I want y'all to know that these are all opinions.
These are opinions.
And
These are my opinions.
and we are able to. We should be able to have opinions. The issue is that when you disagree with someone's opinion, is
And
how
you
you
think it's-
carry on the conversation,
Yeah.
and we don't like to do that. It's either I'm right and you're wrong. No one just likes to have a conversation. We can both walk
Because-
away and agree to
yeah.
disagree, but we can have a humane conversation. People who are in comments like that, I wonder what their real life is like, or if this is
They
the only
just
time they get to
saying
talk.
something.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like spreading positivity. I just feel like just being realistic and just not just being so negative with what you say or what you post. Like even like when you talk like I do feel like it's about controlling your news feed as we said before because I do feel like with those big blog sites, even their headlines are a little messy now.
But
They're not even like that's like WTLC coming on the news and being like local guy robs the store because like they're supposed to be so shady because he was trying to steal a wig like you ain't got $30. You don't see WTLC putting a headline out like that.
But because you know you're gonna click. That's what it becomes about clicks.
And that's why I'm
and
like
ad money.
even their headlines are just weird. Like just put what happened, don't be shady. But what I do learn is that a lot of those blogs they have so much different people running different stories, so it's not always the same person posting it.
Sometimes they're not even black. But on that note, I'm gonna leave us with a James Baldwin quote. It is, whatever you describe to another whatever you describe to another person is also a revelation of who you are and who you think you are. You cannot describe anything without betraying your point of view, your aspirations, your fears, your hopes.
That makes me think.
He's so
He
good.
really is good.
He's
So
so
now I'm
he
like,
is so
"Ooh,
good.
what type of person?
I'm so
portraying
happy that
myself to be?"
people are listening to James Baldwin now after all these years because he has so many gems that makes you really just think about yourself in society.
Right, that makes me think like, what do I say? I just still feel like I feel like I just portray me.
That's all you can
Take
do
it or leave it.
in this world of social media. But social media is the devil, and maybe sometimes it's not.
It's what you want it to be.
And that is episode 302. Social media is the devil. This is Jay Schuler, and this is
Myra.
And we are
I'm
out of
sorry, I was
here.
yawning.
Peace and love, y'all. We'll be
Peace.
seeing y'all next week. We
See
out.
ya.
Chill.